Why does it keep on doing the it keeps on doing the metronome? I forget to take off the metronome. Welcome back, y'all. I do not know if this is episode 41 or not. This is a special episode. Davon right now is sick. He's on the mend now. He was over here flexing IG pics. Like he broke out the undefeated forces yesterday.
He's alright.
Yeah, man. That nigga alright. He alright, man. But I'm here with a special guest today. This intro is gonna be kind of long because we have a very long, extensive history.
Don't bring a tear to my eye, man. Please.
This guy, I've known him since middle school. I can definitely say I got into shoes because of him. Like this episode, I'll tell you right now, this is for the sneakerheads that like flipped open the East Bay catalogs. This is for the sneakerheads when it got past, I want to say the 90s run with Tim Hardaway and who else? When it went to a lot more patent leather on shoes, like Jason Kidd, Steve Nash coming into his own, J Kidd, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett. When it got into that era, this guy was at the forefront with some mean joints.
Yeah, I was on it.
All right, so this is my guy John. Again, we've known each other since we were 11.
Yeah, possibly. I think I moved here in 2000. I met you in 2001.
Yeah, we should have been at the same elementary school, but I went to a different one.
Right.
I didn't go to my seated one. But yeah, man. How you doing, dog?
I'm great. I'm great. This is recorded, right?
This is recording.
So I feel good. You know?
Okay. Just play soccer.
Just play soccer. Got my cardio in.
Pardon the rain, y'all.
Yeah. I mean, it's good for the greenery outside, but I don't know about the audio. But yeah, look, Rashad, looking at you kind of makes me
Look at this
because we go back so long, and there's just been so many like experiences and moments throughout this journey. I mean, we're talking 22, 23 years.
Dang, it really has been that long.
And that's what, like, more than half our age.
Bro,
So,
that's crazy.
But yeah, glad to be on your podcast. Taking Davon's spot for now.
Thank you. And for the record, again, Davon and I are not breaking up. We are good.
But that's not what you told.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Yo.
Shout out Davon, man. So I haven't met Davon in person, but I know you're going to make that happen.
Yeah, of course. Definitely. Look, so this is you're kind of like on the outside looking in.
Right now I am.
Like you see the app, you know what it is. You know, like he's current with everything to some degree, but he doesn't do like all the crazy raffles for that better generation, sending a trick shot.
If I had the time and the patience, I would. And if I would hit every now and then, I would. But these raffles, you go 0 for 30. Look, I come from the era where you play ball. If you miss your first 3 jumpers, you taking it to the hole. Yeah. You want the easy bucket.
Yeah.
The easy conversion. That's how I kind of look at the sneaker game right now. I took so many L's. So everything I do right now in terms of whatever I cop, it has to be easy. It got to be easy for me. Every now and then, I might jump in a raffle, but for the most part, like, I'm cool with what I have. I've had a lot also, gotten rid of a lot. But yeah, like right now, I'm kind of seeing how do I get back in? Like the foams that just dropped the other day, the white ones.
Mm-hmm.
I missed out on them, but the resale doesn't look too bad.
Well, resale now has kind of died.
Well, good for people like me.
Exactly. Like, it's low-key the golden age. Like,
Yeah.
people say, yo, sneaker game is dead because I can't move this, that, and the third. And that's fine.
That's for the people hustling and selling the shoes. But for people who actually love them and used to wear them when they were readily available, I'm talking 07, 08. I had Foam Pros, blue, with the black
black check, yes.
Black bottom. We're not talking gum bottoms yet. This is Foam Pros. Remember?
He's flexing right
No, I'm just saying. But it
flex.
was easier to cop those.
Right.
Right? If they retroed at any point after that, it would have been tragic for someone like me. Not being able to get their hands on something that they used to covet so much. And that's what kind of made me shy away from just the competitive aspect of the shoe game. But the love is still there. Don't get me wrong. The love is still there. And like you're saying, it's easier to get back in with the resale kind of dying.
Shoot, resale, and on top of that, Like, I think a lot of people, because they can't resell stuff anymore, a lot of stuff is sitting.
Great.
Like ones, I know the Celtic ones. Now, granted, it's kind of hard to match everything with like black, white, and green, and it's not really a summer shoe.
Right.
But they sat for like a cool minute. I think the only shoes that haven't sat are the Ja Morant ones.
Yeah, I actually try to get those.
Damn, I tried to get them too.
Just for the culture, I'm like, let me try. I mean,
struck out horribly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if they're gonna pop up in stores. If they do, but I'm not sweating it. You know, like I'll just get another colorway.
The first colorway. That's the big thing for me. It's like I think back to like the Zoom generations. Everybody wants the first one, the first colorway of their superstar athlete. I know Ja's been going through a lot lately.
Hey,
I overlooked all of that when I saw it.
So did everybody else.
I'm like,
look, you thought it was gonna be a walk in the park. Like, no white people gonna be messing with this,
man.
Bro. Man, look, I got my heart broken for those and the lost and found ones. That second chance was ridiculous. I was in work. I was in work clicking everything. I couldn't even process payment, no nothing.
Dang.
But all right, let's go. Well, what?
Dang, I was just gonna ask you how you feel about the Jason Tatum Jordan 1s. I don't know why, but
all right.
So I just started playing ball again. I'm playing in the league in DC on Sundays.
Okay.
First game of the season last week, I had to wear threes, cement threes, black and cement threes. That's all I had. I didn't have any other hooping shoes. I tried to go get the Air Jordan 37s. They didn't fit right. I got a size 11. I thought they were true to size. They were hugging my feet so much. I'm just like, this is not going to work. So I returned them and just ended up wearing the threes. But anyway, since then, I'm trying to look at, like, what's out there, right? You got, from Jordan brand, you got Luka, of course. You got Zion. I don't really like the Zion design concept. But then you got Jason Tatum, which is sort of like a weird hodgepodge of materials that they're using in his shoe. But it takes me back to a time where they took chances. So when you get a chance and you actually feel them in your hands, like, let me know what you think, because
well, they're touted as the lightest Jordan shoe ever.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, on foot they look a lot better than what we've been seeing. Like, I guess the holes in that little shark fin throws us off, because they have to fill whatever that void is. What in between? You can see all the way through.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that since Dwayne Wade was on Jordan Brand, I don't think. We had
the people. Yeah.
But I'm looking at them on foot, and they're not that bad. They're not as bad as I thought they were. And it's like, all right, if the tech is there, then you might sell me on it, especially because it's a decent price.
That's what I was gonna say. $120 for a signature shoe. I know Nike has like different tiers as well for their athletes. I know you can get like the Giannis, the Zoom Freaks for a decent price.
Giannis is a what, 140, right?
Yeah, but then he also have like these
yeah, he has the lower tier.
Yeah. So there are price points where you can kind of get in and support your favorite athlete. But I thought the Tatums were priced perfectly when I held them in my hand, and I typically don't feel that when I pick up other shoes. So just something to think about.
Where do you think Nike basketball is at compared to our golden ages, like 90s and early 2000s?
I don't think it could be redone, what they did back in the 90s and early 2000s. I remember like the Nike Alpha Project where like, oh my, just saying that just brings...
Garnett was part of that, because that goes into flight posits.
Yeah.
Any shoe that had the 5 dots, that goes into shocks.
Yeah.
Vince Carter's.
Right before the shocks. I feel like, the Vince Carter's as well. And then they took chances, like I kind of mentioned before, like the GP Gary Payton 3s, I believe. With the booty. And
the swappable ones. So it's, the GPs, the kids, and the Pippins.
Come on, man. You just named like Hall of Famers back to back to back. So that kind of answers your question. Like, they gave the right athlete shoes. I'm not taking anything away from the guys right now, because Giannis, Paul George, I think they deserve shoes.
What was that?
I don't know, man. Paul George, does Paul George deserve a shoe? Right.
Yo,
maybe I'll take that back.
Skill wise, he does.
What has he won?
Not dog. He came back from like 2 career-ending injuries and was still.
Shout out Paul
all-star.
George. He's a great player, but I'm just saying if you're comparing it to the people who had signature shoes back in the day, I just feel like the talent and the prestige of the athlete was different.
What do you think the issue is? Like, if you had to name 3 top issues, like I know Davon says accessibility. Like we get to see these people all the time because of IG, so there's no mystique.
I think I would have to agree with that. But like for me, back in the day, the accessibility was just seeing them play, and that's all I needed to care about. I didn't need to care about anything else, like what they ate for dinner and what they had for lunch and how they spend their free time. Like I don't care. What I care about is the shoes that I'm seeing in the magazine. When you transport that image onto the court, when I'm watching them play, how does that make me feel? And that's something I don't ever think I can get back.
This is Steph Curry's fault. Once people started jacking threes, like I wanted Gary Payton's. If I played in Gary Payton's, I felt like I was gonna be a lockdown defender.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like now, everyone, are these gonna make me shoot threes? Like, what's up?
Yeah, and I get that, right? We want to replicate what the athlete is doing on the court, right? But the transition of the NBA as well, I think that kind of threw everything in for a loop, like you're saying. But even before Steph Curry, like the NBA pace was getting faster. We saw that with Mike D'Antoni's Suns and then what was that, like the mid 2000s, 2010s or whatever. So yeah, I don't want to go too deep into like why the game isn't what it once was. I do appreciate what's out there, like the different skill sets. Because right now you got guys who are super talented, right? I just don't feel like everyone with a signature shoe makes me feel like they're as great as the people who I came up watching. That's the disconnect. And maybe it's just because I'm older. Like, because when you're a kid, you see athletes in a different light than when you're an adult. That's probably part of it. Like when you ask me the top 3 reasons, I just feel like when you're you need something else to hook you to the brand or to the product when you get a bit older.
Would Wale wear Jason Tatum's with jeans?
No.
No.
He would.
That's it.
He would.
The end all be all question.
But would he wear John Morant's? Would he wear Paul George's? Would he wear KD's? Would he wear Zoom Freaks? No. No to all of them.
Nah. Because KD 4s is killing.
Okay, but I'm saying like present day KD 15s.
Well, have you seen the new ones that are supposed to come out?
The KD
that look
16s.
like Penny 2s?
I like those.
Yeah, it's a different conversation.
Shout out Penny, man. Yo, Penny. So everybody coming up, right, always had like a 23 in their screen name, whether it's like AIM.
This man was the first.
Bruh, you know I was on Airmax. I still have
Airmaxpenny123
as my email to this day.
Didn't you have the Henny Hardaway?
I had that too. So when you say Penny, man, like I really understand what his impact was to the game and even off the court, because his career was kind of cut short. But like off the court, he even argues that in terms of signature lines, like
he might have the best
versus whoever.
He might have the best outside of Jordan.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
It's right, Penny.
People might say Kobe though, but like, Kobe's my guy as well. But
Kobe ain't had bangers until later. I feel
Penny
like.
started with bangers.
Exactly, like Eric Ovar was snapping
from day one
with phone posits. You might I might even throw Barkley above Kobe.
Oh my God! I mean, being from the DMV.
Yeah. We're biased.
I might have to stamp that. Yeah, I mean, CB 94.
Damn.
All
black ones.
All black ones. Even the white and navy ones. Like I was talking to a friend the other day. I'm like, yo, I just remember. So certain shoes are just synonymous with high school basketball for me. And playing at Magruder, white and navy, anything.
Okay.
White and navy, anything.
So, all right. So, let's go ahead and switch topics. What do you think about since we talking about our school hooped in Adidas?
Yeah,
Pro models, which are a legend. They're a classic.
They are, but listen, when we took school photos for the preseason or whatever, nobody wore their pro models, man. I wore my Cool Grade 4s.
That's hard.
The first time they retro. That's what I had on with my.
All right.
So yeah, we love Adidas for what they did for you know, Maryland athletics in our school in particular, but it was still Jordans and Nikes, bro. Off the court.
I felt like, but when you when you bring up classic models, I feel like people kind of like if they put up a top 10, the pro models is like 11, just out of
probably.
You know, just because it was a true hooper shoe.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Very durable as well.
Mm-hmm.
You're not busting. Your foot's not busting out of a pair of pro models.
Yeah, like Zion.
It's not.
True, LeBron had pro models.
He did. Okay.
Yeah, like
same.
He was that close to sign. Well, nah, it wasn't even close. But we could have seen it. It was a good sway.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. Yeah.
So what do you think of, since we talking about Adidas? What do you think of the Fear of God Adidas shoe?
I love them.
Son. Did you see the fake ones that had came out? They were a fake. It was like some fake mock-up. Or not fake mock-up, but a fake model with the 3 stripes on the toes.
I remember seeing it, but I thought that was legit. I mean, everyone else did. Let's not fool ourselves.
Nah, like we almost had an emergency podcast for that alone. Yeah. Like we have our video uploaded, and it's the first topic, and the only comment on it is, "Hey, just so you know, the shoes weren't real." I was like, "Bro, all right."
No, like I love them, especially because it's a basketball shoe, right? A lot of the basketball Adidas in the past 10, 15 years just haven't done it for me. Plain and simple. I mean, the Hardens, I think the Harden 7s or Harden 6s. I don't know what the number is for this season, but the Hardens look to be pretty popular among hoopers.
That's weird because they look like Kobe's.
Yeah.
It looks like
don't quote me on the number. I think it's the Harden 7s. Maybe it's the Harden 6. But outside of those, like even any of the Dames that have dropped, I haven't been able to connect with them. But no, these I would love to see them on the NBA hardwood floor. If it gets to that point,
I wonder what the tech is in this for. I mean, granted, it doesn't matter. Like
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Gilbert Arenas hooping in Dolce and Gabbana. I mean, but they look very solid. Like we didn't know what the toe box was. If it's reinforced prime knit, then you have the regular prime knit, but it looks like it has a cage. And shoot, just that soul.
It just looks elevated to me, and that's what the Fear of God soul. To me, looks like an elevated.
Like I'm pretty sure there's boost in there.
It has to be. What else are they gonna put in
there? That shit looks ridiculously
to
nice.
Me, so like, at some point after high school or after college, rather, I started getting into Y3s because I just needed something that looked totally futuristic, out there, without any rules.
You and GP were the first people I saw with Y3 too.
GP who? Harris?
Yeah. Not throwing governments.
Oh damn!
But yeah, it's like I did not put nobody's last name.
Blurt that out.
Don't worry, I already accidentally doxed myself.
But yeah. So Y3 for me was the epitome of that. Like just out there and not following any of the trends in the industry. Fear of God's, what I saw a few days ago, harken back to that.
Yes.
So that feeling that I have with the Y3.
Yes. I'm just glad something's finally dropping.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Bro,
we're talking about the tattoo on the back of his neck. I didn't think it was real.
Yeah. So how do you feel like? What is your take on Jerry Lorenzo and his approach as far as him taking his time? Do you think Adidas signed up for that? Do you think is that acceptable in today's culture?
I think for the masses it's not acceptable because everything else is so accessible and instant gratification can be had with any brand, right? Things drop so fast. I mean, it's so hard to keep up with anything that's dropping from most brands. So I like what he did, taking his time. And I don't know if COVID had something to do with that, or maybe he was trying to build that design language and figure out how to put that into a basketball silhouette. I totally respect that if that was the case. And for me, not being like in the mix, copping a shoe every week or every month, I love that approach. Because you can see it in the product, at least from what I saw.
Right.
The timing and everything that went into building that shoe made it worth it. And I haven't even seen it in hand, but I know it's probably going to look way better in hand than it does in photos.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be nothing but just premium, just everything.
And that's what I want out of a basketball shoe from a brand that's not Nike. Like if you really want to leave your imprint on a sport like Nike, you got to bring it design wise, and you have to elevate whatever is out there and take it that step further. And I think Jerry Lorenzo is one to do that. There aren't that many who can, in my opinion. I think I even like the Kanye Yeezy. I forget the number, the basketball, the quantum.
Yeah.
I forget.
Is it 750s?
No, are they 750s?
I don't know if they're 750s.
But I like those. People said that they were uncomfortable, but it kind of reminded me of what I was looking for.
The only person I know who hooped them was Jaylen Brown.
Oh yeah,
he got about it like mad quick. Like, he was like, nah.
And that's the thing. Like, so you were kind of saying it doesn't matter if Jerry's shoe doesn't have the tech, right? Because they're gonna move.
Well, yeah.
But I mean, I would love for him to kind of transcend that. Like, make a shoe that looks dope, but also a shoe that can perform. Like, I want to see it on the NBA floor. Like I said before, like
Jerry's good for that though, because he even said with when he did the Fear of God one with Nike, he actually caught a lot of fire for it, but he was saying that the shoe was inspired by The Question.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Yeah. I can see that now.
And so it was like, bro, why would you say that?
Yeah.
And it was like, yo, I want to be able to say what I want. Like, y'all giving me my own soul. It's not like I'm working for y'all. Yeah. And then you saw what happened with that relationship.
Right. Soured quickly.
Yeah. So Jerry is good for at least taking something and putting, integrating, like, all right, this is a basketball shoe. I want to make sure that I stay true to that.
To that, right.
I mean, to be fair, like the other stuff, like the shoot around, the air raid, whatever, it wasn't bad, but it just wasn't the Fear of God. Like, it's just like a Chrysler 300 next to a Maybach.
Yeah, you saw that.
I mean, like, don't
instantly.
Yeah, don't release everything at the same time and then tell me, oh, just get these. Right. Like, nah, dog.
I want the first one. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I want the elevated model. No, it's it's interesting. I don't know what the price point's gonna be though.
I think at this point, at this point, you just need to let me just go ahead and get my $350 ready. Let's just go ahead and take a small loan out.
$349 with an extra set of laces,
bro. All right, so
did we even get to talk about like how we even got into the shoe game?
Well,
I thought I was gonna start with talking about.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's cool. Yeah. We could jump around. So, how did you get into sneakers?
Man, well, first and foremost, I wasn't born in this country. Right? I was born in the UK. So the sneakers that we coveted back then were running shoes, right?
Okay.
So it's like Nike Air Maxes and Adidas's and Asics, shoes like that. But my nanny, I used to go to a nanny. My nanny, her nephew used to travel back and forth to the States, right? So he came back one time with an East Bay magazine. Bro, that's what did it for me. Because in that magazine, they had just dropped the Playoff 13s.
Oh, wow.
That's the first time I seen Jordans like that, like in a magazine where you can order them internationally. I didn't, obviously. I was like 8 years old, 9 years old. But seeing that magazine just changed everything for me. Because I'm like, okay, I love basketball as well, which is kind of odd. Like living in the UK, there's not access to basketball courts and such. But I was watching the NBA. I watched NBA Jam on Saturday mornings. The first like real NBA playoff series I watched was the Spurs versus Knicks in the 1999 lockout season.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's when I really got into ball, but that's also when we started getting more East Bay magazines at my nanny's. So I was able to connect the dots quick as a kid. So I'm like, okay, when I move to the States, I'm going to be on this. And lo and behold, we did move, and we got here in early 2000, and I was on it. Like, my brother had already kind of got a few kicks here and there. I think he had, at the time, a pair of foam posits, if I recall correctly. He had some Rodmans, some Converse Rodmans. He had a good mix of shoes, some up-tempos, and I just wanted to wear whatever he had. So he kind of started me on the right path. But then as soon as I got wind of how to make money, like cutting grass in the neighborhood, I went and bought like Foamposite Maxes.
I'm trying to think of the first shoes that I seen you in, because it was like a pair of graphite and red joints. They were Air Max somethings, but they were a basketball shoe.
Was that the Gary Payton 3s?
I don't think it was the Gary Payton 3s. It was like, I can't remember. I can't remember.
But let me just go a few steps back though.
This man used to flex. Like he used to have like the velour South Poles.
Yeah, I know.
The velour South Pole with the navy blue turbines.
That's what I was about to say.
The turbines. So I remember getting my parents to buy me those, and they were full price at the time, $124.99, and that was unheard of for me to get anything that price from my parents.
Bro.
But it's because I had good grades that year.
Mm-hmm.
But those turbines, man, they were so comfortable. Because I think it was full-length Zoom Air.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing. And that was 7th grade.
Yeah.
That was 7th grade. And I had kind of started playing ball a bit more seriously. Because, I used to play ball outside like everybody else.
Yes.
But then I also played by myself.
Yeah.
And that's when I started getting like a few more skills that,
Yeah, because that was when we started like hanging tough in the summertime.
Yeah. I mean, we're playing one-on-one like all day.
We used to get demolished.
But yeah, so turbines, and then we're talking like shock stunners.
Yes, I had a pair of shock stunners.
To this day, shock stunners are probably in my top 10 for hooping shoes.
Were yours tight?
No.
Like, cause
I got a narrow foot.
I had to go up to a 14.
No, I had an 11.
Really?
Yeah.
Look, it was so bad. Like my parents, they were. I had to convince my parents not to shop at Famous Footwear. Mm-hmm. Like it was bad because I always had big feet.
Yeah.
And so my dad is like, bro, like you and I wear the same shoe size. Both of our shoes are expensive. Yeah. Nah, you're not buying this. And then on top of that, like middle school was when the 17s and North Faces got popular.
You notice how I haven't talked about any Jordans I bought yet.
Oh, we gonna get to that.
We gonna get to have them yet. I was still on Nike basketball heavy. They were accessible. I can go to the store and go buy them with my parents on a Saturday afternoon. It wasn't that deep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there were countless times where I wanted the ones that everyone had, and I can name drop so many people who had them. And
Clean.
First person who comes to mind.
Khalid.
Yeah.
Khalid killed it, dog.
Like, and I just remember, like, how are they getting them?
That man came to school with the suitcase, opened the joint up, and put them on.
Yeah. And, like, even before that, right? Like, I remember when I first came to Flower Hill Elementary School, like, I had people around me who had, like, the 15s. So at the time, the 15s had just dropped, I believe.
Mm-hmm. I mean, elementary school, because I was like 8 or 9, and I saw my first pair of 15s, and I was like, holy smokes.
Yeah, so I remember some people had the white and Carolina, some people had the all black, and what I would do, the shoes that I couldn't get, I would just draw them. So to this day, if you go to my parents' home, I probably still have like a bunch of sketches of the 15s, the 16s. I even have drawings of like cars that I wanted at the time. Like imagine a little kid thinking that he deserves to drive like a Bentley, because I was watching like Cash Money videos of Birdman stunting in the #1 stunner videos, and I'm watching all of that, and the feedback for me was I gotta get these things at some point in my life, so I'm drawing everything. But anyway, the shoe game to me was something that was obviously a bit more accessible because you can get in at different price points. Mm-hmm. But the Jordan was always that halo thing that everyone wanted. Like only a few people in school would have the Jordan in the right colorway when they dropped. Mm-hmm. And so the white and college blue 17s with the briefcase, it's not like everyone had them. There's only a few people had them if you really think about it.
Bro, people was getting, that was when we knew people was getting duffed out for shoes.
Yeah.
My parents were like, first of all, they're way too expensive. Second of all, if you do wear these, somebody's going to punch you dead in your face and take them off your feet. No.
Yeah. I mean, $200 at the time. And it's not even like, hold on, were they $200 or $250?
Yeah, they were $200.
But $200 was still not the highest. I mean, the
New Balances and Foamposites had a higher price point.
In 1996, the penny foam ones were 1996, right? And they dropped for $199. So people were accustomed to high price points. I just don't think it was universal enough.
Not necessarily, because the thing is, like with foam posits, those were a college favorite. Like you didn't get those unless that was like a deep cut, and they were dope boys. So you knew where we were. We were outside that, but you really had to be raking in some bread to really have those.
I guess the point I'm trying to make is that like it shouldn't have been a surprise that a $200 shoe appeared again. Right, because
I mean, with inflation now,
it came with a briefcase and a CD, bro. There was a CD in the briefcase.
Exactly, but think about it though. Think about it now. Like if a shoe comes out with a briefcase and a CD now, bro, they might bump it up to 300. Yeah. Like, so it was amazing presentation.
Nike's listening to this. If anyone from Nike is listening to this, 300 is light for some college blue 17s. Please bring them out again. I don't give a damn.
No, just give us the 17s and no briefcase.
No, I want the briefcase. Don't give me half of the experience. I want the whole thing, man. No, look, the 17s, but even before then, the 16s was a shoe that I loved because it reminded me of the 11s. Mm-hmm. And any shoe that had a strap or a gaiter or whatever they called the thing that wrapped around the shoe, I love that because it's modularity. Right? Yeah. Depending on how I feel, I can hit you with the shroud on or the shroud off. And that was with the 16s or the 17s.
That's something I missed too. Because I was talking about it was the Jordans that you had, the ones with the tuxedo toe box where you could swap out the insoles.
I still got them upstairs.
Those were, and you could say
Jordan 2012s. I think that was the name of it.
Jordan 2012s. Like people were like they pooped on the design a little bit, but just the tech, like those Kobe 7s
system,
like shoes like those where you could swap. Let me put zoom in them this time. Let me get full length, or let me just put the lunar line in for more comfort.
I don't understand why that isn't done more. Like hoopers need to adapt, right? Because if it's the beginning of the season, you might want zoom because you're light on your feet or whatever. But then during the middle of the season, you may feel some aches and pains. You want different types of support.
Yeah.
Right? You don't necessarily want to go buy a different shoe. So I don't understand why they don't think about the progression of an athlete through,
I'll say this much.
Through a season.
It would be a lot easier to sell me on stuff if you gave me that. Like, all right, I could justify a $210 price point if you gave me 3 different insoles I could swap in and out.
Right.
Because now it's like, fam, all right, I'm going to burn through this LeBron in like half a season.
Right.
It doesn't feel premium aside from like, the main material might feel like, oh, this is battle knit or what fly knit, whatever. But aside from that, like it doesn't feel like full length zoom. And then on top of that, like if it's lunar line, you'll see the creasing of the sole.
Yeah. Right.
Like, man, so you gonna try to get me for $400 in one basketball season? Bro, get out of
here. Yeah. No, so like just thinking about like what the shoes meant for me back then, I felt like there was more that they were offering me as well. It wasn't just the shoe. It was the experience, it was the athlete, it was the fact that I could wear them casually. Like most shoes we bought back then, we were wearing with jeans or sweats as well.
Yeah.
It's not like we had a separate pair of shoes that we were wearing to go out. I mean, some people had Prada America's Cups, but not everybody could afford Prada. Like, we're wearing LeBron to the club, bro.
Why are you taking shots? Why are you taking shots?
Not all of them.
Nah, for the record.
You did, though. You had LeBron 4.
I had a broken toe, dog. I had a broken toe. I could not get my pinky toe in no dress shoes.
Were they a special edition LeBron 4?
They were the Canon LeBron 9s.
Okay.
So yeah, they look like the Miami University of Miami colors.
Got it. Okay.
That's the only reason I wore them. You an asshole.
I'm just saying.
Jerk.
I'm just saying.
And go ahead.
We're talking about early 2000s, man. Like, I don't understand why they don't retro more of the shoes from back then for guys in our age group. Guys who can actually help them move these products. Like, foam posit maxes will not last on the shelves.
Oh no,
if people like you and me are around.
They've been in talks of. They've been rumored to retro for the past 3 years, and everyone's like,
"This shouldn't take 3 years to retro one of the most iconic shoes ever."
Everyone's just saying, "Yo, what's the price gonna be?" So I can get ready because I already know it's gonna be $270.
$270, fine, whatever. But just give me the colorway.
This is gonna be black, white, and silver.
Yeah.
You're gonna get me for $275 every time.
That's fine. I don't care. Like, I do care about the other BS that they're trying to sell us, right? I care about that. But if you try to like play into the nostalgia a bit more for people in their mid-30s, early 40s, like there's enough of us to go around that will move that product for sure.
Oh, easily.
It doesn't take a collab for me to buy a Penny 2. Like, I will buy a Penny 2 regardless of whoever's collaborating with the shoe.
All right, so question.
God dang. I'm pissed.
It was like, dog, they really have to have Stussy stitched on the side.
Do they? Like, I don't need other people messing around with silhouettes that are classic. Like, I'm going to get them anyway. You don't need to put their name on it.
Yeah, that's real. That's very real. What do you think of... What would be your price point for Flightposite 3? No, Flightposite 2s.
I just sold mine on eBay not too long ago.
Wait, the bubbles? No, Flightposite 3s are the ones with bubbles.
Yeah, Flightposite 3s have the bubble. I was talking about KG.
Yeah, the Garnett.
I just sold a white and navy pair. Sorry, black and navy pair on eBay. I probably shouldn't have, but they didn't fit me that well. They're 11 and a half. They're kind of bulky. But you know, if they brought the Flightposite 2s back, I think they already did bring them back. Shot like 3-4 years ago.
No, they brought back the Garnets.
Yeah, they brought back
because they brought them back in like black and green.
It was a weird color. Yeah,
it was like some dookie colors.
The green was a lacquer green. It was like a really shiny green. It wasn't. But okay. But were you asking for Flightposite 3s? Those haven't retroed before.
I know. We talking about iconic Alpha Project. Battlegrounds.
So if they sell me on a story, if they give me the Battlegrounds,
I don't need a story.
But I'm just saying, if they wanted to start with that, that's $249.99 easy. But they gotta hype it up. The all chrome ones.
Them joints could drop on sneakers right now. No, pull a Beyonce, no promo. I'm getting my $250. Y'all got it. Y'all got it.
$249.99 for those, and that would be a valid price point for that silhouette.
Which colorway?
So the first colorway, the black and lapis blue. I think that's how you say it. Lapis blue. That colorway, I just remember people like Lonnie Sawyer. I don't know if you remember Lonnie. But
yeah. Stop dropping.
I know.
You gotta drop the last.
Blurt that out. But he was the first person I seen with those. Mm-hmm. I can always remember the first person I saw with a shoe.
That's because Lonnie was like 20 years old in middle school. Lonnie definitely drove to middle school, dog. That man had the cement 3s. He had the 9s.
Hey, he might be listening, man.
That's what's up. Hey, shout out, Lonnie.
But no, so I would love for them to bring back the black and the blue. But if they want to go deep cut, bring back all of the TB college colorway versions. Give me the white and blue.
Yeah.
White and red.
Yes.
White and green. White and gray. Like, I remember all of the colorways, and I just remember them sitting $79.99. You can get you a pair of white and reds, white and blue. If we had known back then what we know now,
bruh.
Even though they would have yellowed and discolored in certain. Because the Flightposite material does discolor, especially the white version. So, but yeah, bro, bring them all back. Bring them all back.
I would want them to take. All right, so I would want them to take. You know how they just did the Air Max and they went back and they did the big bubble.
Yeah.
And they said that they fixed whatever.
Cool concept. Yeah, I like that.
I just don't like. Well, I don't like how it looks. It looks sort of like a takedown model when you actually get it in hand. Some people like them, whatever. If that's your jam, I ain't tripping.
Yeah.
But what if they fix the strap issue so that way it doesn't break?
How would you do that?
I don't know. They would have to change the material. I mean, if they did something kind of Barkley-esque, where they change it to maybe a fly knit strap. Just they cut the bubble, but actually have the fly knit strap over.
Okay.
The middle of the foot instead.
Yeah. But then it's not gonna look like the original. I don't want them touching my originals, man. Like,
I mean, because what are you gonna?
I don't care if the strap breaks. I'll buy it again. Just retro it again. That's the whole point of like them having the design to these shoes, is that they can reintroduce them at multiple times in a 10-year span, a 20-year span. All I'm asking is that they release the right shoes. Like I feel like they discount or discredit what Nike basketball did for the brand.
Yeah.
Because they show a lot of love to certain silhouettes. I get it, like the Penny 2s and the Penny 1s, we've seen multiple times. But they never, the GP3s with the skins, they never retro those. Why? Or the kids or the Pippins, like, I feel like that's an easy sell for the newer generation, not the newer generation, but our generation in this new age who just wants to, they want to go down memory lane just a little bit. Like, just give us a little hint of basketball heritage.
But that's the
certain
thing.
Models.
I think they always know that they can do that. Like what you see Nike doing now is they're going back and they're retconning everything. Like with the Union Air Jordan 1s, the ones they were white canvas.
Yeah.
And they had a sort of NWA-esque feel to them, right? Because nobody was wearing Jordan 1s back when NWA was popular. But now people are going to be like, oh, maybe they were wearing them. Like, they're going back and they're revising history so that way they can sell something. If I feel like, oh, they wore it back in the 80s, let me try to do this with a newer model. Like, you see them pushing 2s. Everyone hated 2s except for us.
Right. I love them.
When they might be killing me about the fact that I own like several pairs of 2s. And I'm like, dog, 2s are fire.
Did they retro the Mellow 2s recently?
Like, nah.
They
not
did,
yet.
Over the past 5 years? Did they never? Oh, okay.
I mean, they're probably gonna do some sort of. I know they have like some UNC colorway. I think that's slated to drop later in the year. I think it's like a cool gray and Carolina colorway.
Okay.
But
yeah, I did see the cool grays on the sneaker app. When the Mellow 2s came out when we were in high school, it came out the same day as another colorway. Was it the white?
I think it was the. Red? Yeah, I think it was. Was it white, red, and black?
I think those came out the same day as the Mellow 2s, but the Mellow 2s were the quick strike.
Yeah, like Mellow 2s flew.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't had no chance at them.
Mellow had a run with Jordan though.
Mellow might have the best signature line on Jordan, I want to say.
Yeah.
Because Chris Paul, no. Westbrook, no.
I do like the why not, whatever model's at right now. It's like a zip concept.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a late 90s basketball shoe.
You know what I was just telling Davon about too? I was like, you know what they should do? They should bring back the Mossifieds. And I'm like, bro, you don't understand what Mossifieds with the white and black colorway with the jeans with the rubber bands on the ankles and the jersey. Yeah. You were the man for that day. Understand that outfit was undefeated.
I wish I could name drop right now because I got a name on the tip of my tongue.
Just do first. If you do the first name.
Remember Vander?
Yes. Little Vander. Yeah. With the big T. He had the Gary Paytons that were too big for his body. It looked like he had on his big brother shoes. But he had the Mossifieds too?
No, but he had the Moss jersey because his last name is Moss, so he used to rock the jersey.
Right.
But,
whatever, they'll be all right.
But speaking of Jordans, I did get some new shoes.
Okay. Yeah, you brought the box down. Please. Yeah. Wait, where is it? Is it right beside you?
Yeah.
All right, so we did manage to squeeze an unboxing. I'm in the process of moving right now, so I ain't going to be unboxing nothing for a while.
Yeah, these just came in, man, and I was telling you, started hooping, right? So I was looking for a shoe, got the 37s. They didn't really do it for me. They were too snug.
I know what you got.
And I'm like, who in the NBA right now has a game that I think I can copy for the next 7 to 8 years? Because I'm 30. I'm early 30s, right? I want to hoop until like at least early 40s.
Oh, Kawhi, because you don't have to play.
But I got to play like this guy, possibly, if I want to stay in shape and stay on the floor without getting hurt. That means play a lot of offense, not a lot of defense.
Right.
I don't know if that kind of gave it away. But
Yo.
so yeah, I'm seeing them here first with you guys. You want to guess what they are?
I was gonna guess. Are those the Russell? Are those the joints that you was looking for? Those aren't the 30 somethings, are they?
No.
Nah, those are Zion. Wait, it's not a Zion.
No, I just told you I don't like Zion's silhouette, man.
Cause it's a big Z on it. So I mean, that's Russell Westbrook. Woo, Lucas.
These are Lucas, man. Yo, shout out Luca.
He probably has the best Jordan signature sneaker right now. Like, easily.
Listen, Rashad, to me, I kept going back to these, man. I'm like, yo, these take me back to a time where, you know, they didn't over design them, but everything just works. Everything just works. So I figured I could rock these for the season. They were on sale.
This man said no defense.
Play no defense, but Euro step dudes, and you know, just play a nice style of basketball.
This is ISO plate, because I know it was going to have a torsion plate, and it feels like it's full length.
It's what's the name of the Jordan foam technology? I think it's like Formula 23.
Yeah, Formula 23.
Yeah, so I think this is full length that. So no zoom air. So if you're, you know, I've always played with shoes that make me feel like a bit springy and bouncy off the step with zoom air.
Yeah, you dunked on me in Foam Posit Pros.
Hey. Case in point. But these don't have that.
Right.
So it's going to be a little bit of getting used to.
Sheesh.
But yeah, man, I always want to stay with Jordan if I can. Because I felt like over the past 10 years, that's probably all I've worn. Because I haven't gotten hurt in them, knock on wood. So playing in Jordans to me, like, just makes me feel like a better hooper. All the marketing that they did over the years works for me. But yeah, so it's gonna be these. I even had like the Zoom Freak, the Greek Freaks on my hand for a little bit. They just didn't feel right.
Yeah, every time I tried them on, I tried.
Yeah,
I really did.
So I was like, but yeah, I think these are, yeah, looking at them for the first time in this colorway, I think
they're hard.
I think they
like I've been saying that, yo, all right, Jordan Brand might have something with Luka in their design team, and then when the Tatum drop, I was like, never mind.
Hold on, did you see the Luka 2s? He was wearing them.
Yeah.
They look good too.
They look pretty solid.
They look solid.
They look pretty solid, and they're busy. Like I like the busyness of it. It's not just super duper plain.
Yeah. So I think on those, they have like a split toe thing. I don't know. I need to see that in person, but it looks like they took a bit of a chance with the Luka 2s, design wise. Like they're not as, I wouldn't call these simple. They got a bunch of colors going on, but like these are, I would say, not understated, not overstated. They're just right. But the Luka 2s looks like they took a chance. But no, man, I think Jordan has a good roster of athletes. Like, look, back in the day, everyone signed to Jordan did not get a shoe.
Right.
Like Ray Allen never got his own signature shoe. He just wore what they were pushing. Michael Finley, Derek Anderson. There's a lot of, who else, man? Quentin Richardson, Darius, but like all of these dudes just wore Jordans that were out at the time. The fact that athletes right now are getting their own
his own shoe.
Vin Baker, Vindicates or whatever. Yeah,
you name all those people. Vin Baker got a shoe.
And Vin Baker had a shoe. That's crazy. Vin Baker had a shoe. How?
And Jordan was like, I ain't doing this shit again.
Yo, you're right. Vin Baker had a shoe.
Over D Miles.
Over
Mighty Mouse.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, so shout out to all the Jordan athletes right now getting their own shoes under the brand. Even though it looks weird when it says Air Jordan Luka.
Yeah,
Jordan
I mean,
Tatum.
it's
Jordan
not too
Zion.
bad. All right, what do you think of the Kobe process now?
Oh my gosh,
like
man.
being able
They're
to
hurting
obtain
me.
a pair.
That's what hurts me right now. Because in terms of athletes, like he is one of the greatest we all want to kind of live in a way where we can respect his legacy, but we can't do it through product anymore without paying resale or exorbitant prices for it. And even the colorways that they're dropping, like the GG4s, I think those are the ones coming out.
Yeah. Don't worry, we killed those.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I just wish that it was more accessible. And what I've noticed as well now with Nike, there are a lot of shoes that look like Kobe's that are just like a $79, $80 price point shoe. Because they realize that, like, when kids watch the NBA games,
they're all low cuts.
Everyone's wearing low cut, but everyone's wearing Kobe's. So these kids go to the store and there are no Kobe's there. So they're selling them on something that looks similar in silhouette, but it just harkens back to the fact that they're not doing us any favors or doing themselves any favors for people who want to support the Kobe legacy. At least for me, if I want a Kobe 4, I want to be able to pay $200 for them. I don't care if they're $200. They're Kobe's. We're gonna pay. But it's like, and especially if you're a hooper.
I know it's literally the quintessential
if you're
hooper
a hooper,
shoe.
You want them to hoop. You're not wearing them just to leave in a safe. We want to imitate the Kobe moves in his shoes, but Nike doesn't make that possible. So
that's just something
the
I
process
do not
to me
understand.
needs to be revisited at some point. Like, not everything needs to be super limited. It feels like everything's a quick strike. Like, now you see it, now you don't.
They just, Davon, like, we've been going back and forth where I think they should do a pre-order system for certain shoes. Like, once every year or once every 2 years, you just drop the ultimate shoe that you know is high demand, like Grinches. Everyone, all right, if everybody who wants a pair, go ahead and get it. He says it's a logistics nightmare, but I'm like, dude, if you got Kith saying that they can make some Samba Clarks and do a pre-order, why are you letting Kith beat you to the punch?
Yeah.
So why don't you just do it? Just try it just one time and do it with some Grinches instead of dropping them with a set of books that you know everyone's probably not gonna read.
Right.
Now you disrespecting a legacy and you know you just giving it to people that's probably gonna flip them.
Everyone's gonna flip them. Like,
I was gonna wear mine because that's just one of them ones.
And that's one thing I was looking at. Like, when I was playing on Sunday, I was trying to see what everyone was wearing. No one's wearing Kobe's.
Can't get them.
Can't get them. But it's like back in the day, what people were wearing in the NBA was also reflected on the blacktop, right? So, like, most of the time, like, if a shoe was a popular shoe, whether it was like a Nike Shox BB4, right? People in your neighborhood were having the same shoes.
I mean, also just again play styles. Like, you had the Above the Rim collection with Reebok, Steve Francis and Baron Davis.
Damn.
Yeah, you know, Steve Francis was around the corner, so that was my man's. What else did you have? You had And One still at the time.
I heard they're about to retro the Tai Chi's.
I think they already have. I know I seen like KG. He was promoting them because he had a hoodie on.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they had KG and the Tai Chi's. Man, it just sucks now. Like, when you look at it, how it used to be, and it's like, yo, could you please bring these back?
That's
like,
what I'm saying. And I don't want to sound like the guy who's always crying about what it used to be.
Right.
I just want it to be. And Nike knows how to make that, like, balance and strike that balance right now with the youth and also pleasing the fans who made the brand what it is. Because back in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, like, we solidified Nike basketball. We glorified every silhouette, bro. Even the C. Webbers, like the ones that even aren't the tightest ones. Son. They would sell out.
Chris Webber's.
Like, we're buying all of them.
He carried the Prestige to Dada. And man had a rim on his shoe.
That's what I'm saying.
Him and Latrell Sprewell. Like, that's crazy.
Hey.
Bro, like, it's even, well, those are the sensations, all right?
Sensations, yeah. I'm just saying, bro. Yeah. Like, we showed everyone love.
Everybody, yeah. You could, yeah. Now, it sucks. It sucks. Just remembering all this stuff, and if you still had it, like, it wouldn't be appreciated. Yeah. I mean, now it's like you could drop something if you had the right story behind it.
Right.
Like they're bringing back Mac Attacks.
Oh yeah.
Yes, John Mac. I think it's a social studies collab.
Okay.
But the issue is, what popped into my head? I think they're only bringing back Mac Attacks because of New Balance. It resembles the New Balance silhouettes that are coming out now.
Okay.
And it's like, I'm all for the empire of Nike crumbling. I'd rather I'd rather New Balance, Adidas, and all this stuff, even the playing field. Cool. Wow. Like, have Nike fall and not have them as the top tier company. Everyone else is coming, but it's just nobody is willing to take that jump.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's willing to take that jump. I think
when you say anybody, you mean these other brands?
I think New Balance is trying to cement themselves in casual culture before they take that jump to a basketball and really go all in.
I did see the Kawhis. They call it like the two-way or something.
Those shoes are solid. I think the only issue is, we only get to see them once a week.
Yeah. I can't even tell you what they look like half the time, man.
And then Adidas is waiting for that one.
Yeah.
I mean, the fear of God, even though I would want to put all my chips in on that, if Jerry Lorenzo's style, we're not going to get another shoe for another 3 years, and that's not frequent enough to keep up with.
To keep it up. But, yeah, I think I kind of wanted to switch subjects.
Go ahead.
So I was thinking about this the other day. Like, when did this whole low top in the NBA thing take off?
Go.
But even before then, right? And this is probably not a low top, but you remember the Steve Nash jet flights?
Yeah, and yeah.
So those weren't a low top, but it kind of like...
That was a running shoe.
That's what I'm saying. And I thought he was crazy for wearing those in the NBA.
Yeah, because he was a soccer player. So it was him and Damon Stoudemire were the only people that did.
Wore those?
Damon Stoudemire, no, he wore low top Jordans. It was him and Bibby.
Right, Bibby, correct. You're right. Bibby was pushing the low tops heavy. But I'm just saying, like, I didn't think it would be like this now. Where
it was unheard of.
A mid-cut shoe is like frowned upon.
Yeah, I'm low key scared to do anything that's that is a low top.
Yeah.
The only shoe, Kobe's introduced me to it because Kobe's had that cushioned ankle, and I was like, okay, I see what people are talking about.
Right.
But even now, like I'll hoop in some LeBrons, but
LeBron wet though.
Well, the latest I hooped in the Martin LeBron 16s.
Oh, wow.
But those aren't like really lows. They're not true lows. I hooped in the 20s. Mm-hmm. Those are lows. And I was like,
The 20s I did see a lot last weekend when I hooped.
They're cool. LeBrons are just always bulky though.
$200 for those though?
Did I pay? Yeah, I did. Because I got the Christmas ones.
Yeah, which they call the Grinches, right?
No, they're called the Christmas LeBrons.
I know, but like
the fake Grinches.
Oh, okay.
People hurt you.
Shout out LeBron. I'm just saying, like I've seen that name thrown around.
To be fair, LeBron had for the LeBron 10, he had the jade green LeBron 10s.
Yeah,
they're literally the same color before the Grinches, I think.
Okay.
I think.
I'll have to go back and look at the. Yeah, I mean, I do love LeBron's signature line though. I just think he has a lot of duds.
There's a lot of duds.
He has a few home runs, don't get me wrong. But there are a lot of shoes where they just, I feel like just didn't hit the mark for me. The Zoom Generations that just dropped the first games, I don't know why I was sleeping on those.
I didn't know a gray pair had dropped.
Yeah, the gray pair looks kind of...
I mean, it looked dusty, but they cool though. They cool.
I'm going to look back like 5 years from now. Like, damn, why didn't I get those?
As soon as I seen them, I was like, bye. And sold out.
Yeah.
Everything, like, I think I wouldn't be surprised if there's a resurgence of Nike basketball.
Mm-hmm. But like, how is it done though? Is it done through just them bombarding us with more pennies? And then
they're trying to push KDs on us now. Like KD Galaxy 4s are about to come back out. And I'm like,
I'm not mad at that.
That's cool. As a hooper, I don't really care. It's more of a style thing. Like that was a cultural shoe.
Right.
Versus like a hooper shoe.
True. At the time that was a wild moment. Just that whole weekend.
I was at my diamond, dog.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that was mad.
Did you get them?
No.
Okay.
Bro, I think everyone went to Finish Line, but I was there for the midnight release because it was either that or Columbia Mall.
Mm-hmm.
And Columbia, everyone was already saying that's done. That's gonna be
Yeah.
cooked because they had got cooked for the 23 release, so the titanium 23s. Their downtown locker room was like Columbia Mall apparently had one of the biggest Jordan accounts that nobody knew of, and so it hit Nike Talk.
Uh-huh.
And somehow word got out. By the time the store opened in the morning, they had news helicopters. Whole parking lots were filled because they thought that was Jordan's last shoe.
Yeah.
And ever since then, like, Columbia Mall was just not the spot to go to.
Since then, I didn't know that. Yo, those titanium 23s were tough though.
In retrospect, but I heard they're not that comfortable. 23s in general.
I never had those. I never had. That's one of the Jordans I skipped. I'm thinking about like what Jordans around that time or around that era really did it for me. I remember I had the 22s, 21s, the 20s. The 20s I loved them. The 20s were amazing. I just sold mine like a year ago. I
don't even want to know what your garage looks like because I'm pretty sure you got some fire.
I've gotten rid of a lot of things that I'm not wearing because I feel like other people can utilize them.
Right.
Like it does me no good for them just sitting there.
I'm trying to get rid of stuff.
Yeah.
Just because like I still got like Dave White ones. Like I'm never gonna wear those.
Yeah.
I mean I got my Dunkins. I probably wear those the most.
Dunkin, like
the foam posits, yeah.
Foam posit Max?
Yeah.
What color?
Silver ones.
When?
I got those like a while back.
Are they fresh?
They okay. They're a little bit dinged up, but
damn.
Shoot, that's what everyone knew me for Air Max Day apparently.
Oh wow.
Cause I wore them with Bradley Beal jersey, the cherry blossom one.
Okay. Let's see you.
Shut up.
I need to get that pic. Print that pic. So look, that shoe right there for me was the awakening of me like knowing how to cop shoes. Cause I remember cutting grass consistently for like 3 weeks and saving $160, right? And I had Frank drive me to Finish Line and buy the last pair of the Foam Maxes in black with the chrome Nike.
With the chrome bubble, yeah.
Not the all black. I know those dropped after.
Yeah.
I'm talking the OG the retro color of the OG.
When they were still good quality.
Good quality. And I had those for so long. So long. Issue with shoes like that though, that eventually the bubble is gonna give out because the sole is gonna wear out, you know. But like that shoe made me figure out that I could do this. Like I can hang with y'all.
Hey, yeah, Frank. Shout out Frank. I'm indeed.
Yeah, shout out all the dudes was really getting it back then for sure. But like, then I met people in college who were on the same wavelength.
Shout out Phil. Shout out Coop, man.
Yeah, Coop was here the other day. So I remember going to Shoe City with him and getting the eggplant foams, the half cents, and the the black blue colorway.
Yeah, the black and navy
clear
blue.
bottom.
What? No, that was a black
I
and
still
red.
have those actually. They're upstairs. I just remember being able to go to the mall. Just get there early. You don't got to be the first guy.
Mm-hmm.
Get there early, and you should be able to leave with your size. That's what I miss.
Do you think that there what would bring you back to the game? Even though at this point, like we're older, we have different responsibilities.
Right.
Like you got a mortgage, I gotta get my credit together.
This mortgage, bro. Oh,
what?
But no, what would get me back in the game? I think is the storytelling more than anything.
Marketing.
The marketing behind the shoe. And you know what? That's where I think Maniere does a great job. Because there's never a time where they're about to release a shoe that I just ignore. Like even though I may not buy them, I always want to know like what's the story behind them. I know it's going to be something around black culture.
Right.
Is it going to be about women? Is it going to be about kids? Is it going to be about just the black struggle in general? Like what is it? There's always going to be a way that they tie the shoe to something else that means a lot more to me. I need Nike to do that just as a company, like without having to, go and
outsource.
Collaborate with another brand to do the storytelling. Like Nike in its DNA should know how to connect with us. But I think they only kind of do that with collaborations and collaborative efforts. And maybe that's a company like directive. That's where they think it makes the most sense to do it, and that's where it feels the most genuine. I get it, but can y'all just do that with a few Nike basketball shoes every now and then? And even with Jordan Brand, like, y'all retro everything except the 16s and the 17s and the shoes that I feel like really made the early 2000s about technology and advancements in the shoe industry. Because if you think about it, like, all of the 16s, the 17s, even the 18s, I know people kind of like shit on the 18s.
18s are solid.
But, I mean, the all suede with the, I mean, this is a shoe where...
With the crazy traction.
Bruh, the traction was crazy, but it was a shoe that didn't resemble anything. I just remember when Jordans didn't look like anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want, like, to feel that connection to shoes again. Right now, everything looks like the next thing. Like, the Ja Morant looks like another...
Kobe or Kyrie.
Or just any other silhouette in Nike's
PG
catalog.
or
Like, they all kind of look like they have the same DNA, which is fine from a branding perspective. But I just remember a time where there was a lot of like there were people who were able to set athletes apart from one another, and it wasn't just about the shoe. It was just about how they made you feel. Because the shoes came with a T-shirt, and it came with a tracksuit, it came with a hat, it came with, like, the whole package made you feel like, no, like, it's worth buying, you know, a Gary Payton shoe and buying a Jason Kidd shoe. Mm-hmm. Even though, like, they're both point guards, both Hall of Famers, but it's just like they have a different spin on their products. I need more of that. And I think for me, if I get that, then it doesn't feel like a chore getting these shoes anymore. Like, it would feel like an accomplishment getting these shoes. And that's what I'm looking for. I want to feel gratified when I have the shoes in hand. I kind of feel that way with the Lukas. And these are a sub-$100 shoe. But It's like, bro, I feel like Luka is one of the best players ever. So it's okay for me to put his shoes on. Bro, like...
Is he the best? Well, I can't say he's the best international player. Because Giannis right now.
Dirk Nowitzki has my vote right now. Giannis would probably be...
Yeah, Giannis is top 3.
Yeah, because now...
He has a title.
So back in the day, international was like...
It would be like Ardinas Sabonis.
Who were the white Europeans, right? But now international is like...
It's every other player.
Every other player. But no, so I'm okay with supporting great players.
Okay. Let me just... And go ahead and wrap up the pod, because keep it about like an hour. Even though I know we could have a conversation for forever.
For hours, man. Can I ask you one question before we wrap up, though?
Sure. I was going to ask you a question.
So if Nike says, Rashad, we'll give you one silhouette that we can drop for you and your homies, for your city, just pick one, and pick one colorway. What would it be?
Are we limiting it just to Nike?
Just to Nike. I could have said another brand, but Nike.
For us, I'm very inclined to say the Flightposite 3.
That's a good one.
But if I had to do something that was more casual, I would probably say the Air Force STS.
Okay.
That was like a very old Air Force model with like elephant print on the side. For those that don't know, I try to do picture-in-picture to include graphics in this one, but yeah, I would probably say the Flightposite 3, because that is like, that model haunts me. Like, if you look at the tabs I got for eBay, that's like I got pretty much everything that I really want, aside from some Kobe's and like a couple other ones, but Flightposite 3s, please bring those back.
Yeah, and you're not gonna see a lot of them online
at all.
Everyone that had them hooped in them.
Yeah, like that middle piece is busted.
That middle piece is gone.
And they still gonna tax you like $700.
Yeah, easy.
All right, my last question for you: what is the best basketball commercial you've ever seen? I think I already know the answer, because I think we have the same answer. That's the only reason this episode will probably stink.
Oh my god!
Because we've agreed too much. Like, we haven't fought.
I don't know, man. Because I might come out of left field with something else.
Davon said
That's what I was gonna say, but I'm like, that's what everyone's gonna say. But it gotta be Jordan 16s, most definitely.
I was like, we have the same answer.
On,
Yo, Umi says makes me cry, like to this day.
Like, yeah, that commercial.
That commercial is a tearjerker for me.
And the way, so when Jordan came back in that commercial, because he walked into the gym, people were hooping before he got in there. So he walks in the door and everyone's like, yo, Mike. And he hit Bama's with the shimmy fade. Oh my God.
He hit people with like his game moves.
And he was retired at the time. So it was like, bro, it made it feel even more just deep because, yeah, he was going to play for the Wizards shortly after. Mm-hmm. But we didn't know that.
Right.
So to me, that was just like seeing Jordan play.
It was literally like for the love of the game.
For the love of the game.
Well, I'll go to an open gym and still give y'all work real quick. Like I'm still Jordan. Don't think I've lost a step.
So that's what that Jordan or that commercial solidified with me. That Jordan was still Jordan. And then he came back, and he had the ginger 16s,
yes.
and
he was killing.
He was killing Bama's.
The Wizards threes, which
I'm getting those.
We've already,
bro. I don't care.
We've already.
I don't care if it doesn't have Nike Air in the back. I know it was a Retro Plus. I still call it like non-OG colors Retro Plus for some reason. Because back in the day, that's what we
over here. Like I was looking at downtown locker room. Like I wonder if these are an urban account release. Look, Nike would get smoked. It was an urban account.
In this day and age, no, like that commercial really did it for me, man. But I want to answer the question that I asked you about, like what one silhouette would I want to have back?
Please do.
The Foam Pro Volt, black and Volt.
Oh my! Oh, I was in. Funny thing, see?
Are they coming back?
No.
Because every time I say shit like this, you're always like, "Oh, bro, do you know?"
No. Because I know
you hit me with the 17 lows. Because like, what?
Yeah. Nah.
17 lows are dropping again.
Yes, 17 lows are rumored to drop again next year. But one shoe that I have like a fondness for, but the price point is kind of tough for me, even though it shouldn't be. Air Max Scorpions.
Air Max Scorpions.
Yes, it's a running shoe with like the super huge double stacked air bubble on the bottom.
Bro, you're gonna have to.
I mean, I can't show.
Yeah, you can't. But
Air Max Scorpions, they have a colorway that just reminds me of those Foam Pros.
Is this an old model or is this a new silhouette?
No, this is a new silhouette.
Oh, yeah. Okay, they just dropped like last year.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay.
Yes, they have a colorway.
They didn't call them like an Air Max 2022. Like back in the day, they would give the Air Max, like the new Air Max silhouette, like a year number.
I mean, yeah,
so
they did, but
I'm like, is this the new Air Max?
I feel like they've tried to pump out more Air Maxes because now Air Maxes have kind of made their place in casual culture again. Right. And so it's like, all right, how about we drop 4 more models and we only call one of them by a year, or we just
because even
deviate from the year.
The Vapor Max, like to me, that's what they're called, right? The Vapor Max, the ones that came out before these Scorpions. Mm-hmm. I looked at those as like the new Air Max.
I mean, they pretty much are.
But yeah, they didn't have a number associated with the name. I guess I just gotta get with the times.
No, you don't. You don't.
Like the naming conventions are confusing.
Bro, trust me. As somebody, it's like I feel like I'm aging out of sneakers, as is. We'll talk off mic about what happens at work because you can't say nothing about because people are weird. Like I get hit with a fit check because I'm like the only person that wears sneakers at work. Yeah. And so, like, they hit me with a fit check, like, every day. I'm like, yo, y'all got to chill. I'm just wearing this because I'm not going to wear it any other time. Yeah. So, that being said, man, do you have any final words?
Final words? I think for the culture and for the game, I, at some point, will get back in it. Only because the more I speak about these shoes in retrospect, the more I want to hunt them down. And I know they probably won't be in the best condition or whatnot, but like if Nike doesn't answer my prayers and brings out retros of shoes that I actually loved back in the day, I can't help but give them my money. right? So I think like the 17 lows, I'm probably gonna get all colorways because I don't know when they're gonna come back again.
Right.
Outside of being like a exclusive release with some brand or some other store. I think the 17 Lightnings came out.
Yeah, they were. I think it was a collab, or either that was.
Room, it was one of them. One of those. Yeah.
It was something like that. I feel like it was like Walters or something in Atlanta because it's a yellow colorway.
Right, but I wasn't really on those. But I'm just saying, I'm gonna hold those shoes in a higher regard now because I know they're not as frequent. At least in the release calendar, I'm not gonna get my hands on, like if they release the College Blue 17s, right? Let's just say they come out in 2024. I might have to cop like 2-3 pairs because I don't know when they're gonna come out again. Same thing with if they drop a 16, if they even drop an 18, like I'm gonna go back to the shoes that I coveted back then and just relive those memories. That's the only thing that's gonna keep me in the game. If you're gonna ask me, you know, am I in the game for the new silhouettes and da 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 da?
No.
Probably not. I did try to get the John Morants, like I said, but again, like
right, they get 30 seconds of my time and then all right, forget about it. I'm cool.
But no, in all seriousness though, like I still love the shoe game and I love the culture. I love like the connections I've made through just meeting people around shoes. They're always gonna have a place in my life. That's gonna go without saying, but. Just make it a bit easier for your guy, man. That's all I'm saying. Just make it a bit easier for your guy.
All right. Well, make it easier for all of them. Man, thank you for filling in on the pod. Yo, it was a pleasure to have you. We will do this again.
Yeah,
this isn't a one-time thing. Probably gonna do something very special. Like
next time.
Definitely. Well, by the end of the year, like
I'm gonna have some stuff ready for that one.
Oh, we gonna have a calendar of stuff.
I'm
about to tell you now, right after we end the show. So yeah, Davon, hope you feel well. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. This is the Loose Laces podcast. I don't know if this is episode 41 or if this is just Rashad and John, whatever this is, but thank y'all. Peace.